Tipster, the drama and Resident Evil YouTuber and streamer, is being harassed by an obsessed stalker that goes by the name The Gaming Otter.
To be honest, I really don't know much about this Gaming Otter guy, but I really think this clip with Bo Blacks really explains him pretty damn well.
Played Bravely Default before? You know Square Enix actually contacted me personally to promote Bravely Default on the 3DS. I know. You know, everyone's like, oh Nick, you're not that popular, so you're not that good. I went to like 8 E3s, guys. How many packs? 8 E3s. So 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 73s, right? I went to 73s. I went to the Art of Video Games exhibit in the Smithsonian. I talked to Micah. Yeah, Square contacted me. And I'm even friends with the Golan Harris guy it was originally Golan Harris, and now Chad's Chad. So I have contacts. I don't need to be friends with Triforce or Abdallah to have those contacts.
I'm gonna say it, going to a couple E3s and getting a sponsorship does not make you known. It's like saying the fact that I was in a Nano and Finster video makes me one of the most famous femboys on the internet. I reached out to Tipster for history and backstory between him and Otter, and this is what he told me.
Okay, just to summarize my history with the Gaming Otter a little bit. Basically, I met them back in 2018. Back then, they went by the name Street Pass Princeton. And I met them because at the time I was covering the Billy Mitchell high score cheating allegations. And they reached out to me. They told me that they had some contacts with people who were close to Billy. So they helped me get in touch with those people at that time. They were a pretty valuable resource, and I was grateful for their help at the time. Fast forward, a couple years later, I had a friend who had passed away, known as Apollo Legend. They ended up taking their own life, sadly, due to some health conditions that they were struggling with. And it was obviously, understandably, a very hard thing to deal with at the time. But a few months later, in 2021, I ended up getting into an argument with Gaming Otter. The source of the argument started with, essentially, there was somebody in my community who had expressed concerns that there was this person that was thinking about self-harming. And so Gaming Otter brought this to my attention along with a couple other people. We did the best we could to track down this person's personal information, and we called in a wellness check, which is pretty much all we could do about a situation like that. So we gathered their personal information, we called in the wellness check, and that really should have been the end of it. But Gaming Otter reached out to me a couple days later, and they were in my DMs talking about how, look, we're not doing enough. We're not doing enough. We need to do our best to help this person. And I tried to explain to them that, look, all we are is people on the internet. All we can do is call in a wellness check, and we already did that. So now it's pretty much in God's hands now. And they got really upset with me, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, but essentially they used my friend's death to try and get a dunk on me. They said something along the lines of, I thought after Apollo Legend's death that you would, care more about people with mental health issues, and clearly you don't care all that much, even after that. And so understandably, I got really upset with them. I dragged them into a Discord call, and we really went at it for a bit. And I ended up blocking them everywhere after that. I had them blocked in my Discord server, blocked, on Twitter and stuff like that. And I had no interest in ever talking to them again after that. And fast forward to a year or two later, they showed up again, but this time they weren't using the Street Pass Princeton name anymore. They were going by the Gaming Otter. And I was like, oh, it's that freaking guy again. So initially I just kind of ignored them. On several occasions, though, I told them that, I don't want to be friends with them. I'm not interested in engaging with them. Just leave me alone. I just wanted to be left alone. And they refused to leave me alone. So over the years, there's been numerous instances of them, responding to my tweets or showing up in my live stream chat, trying to come back to my community, etc. And multiple times I told them to just leave me alone. And they refused to respect my boundaries. I made a very clear boundary that I don't want anything to do with them, and they just couldn't respect that boundary. And so it came to a head really about a week or two ago. Obviously, as somebody who's very, politically motivated these days, I talk about a lot of, political issues and social issues on my Twitter timeline, many of which are very sensitive issues. And one of the issues that I was talking about is there was a trans teenage girl who had took her own life recently, and there were a lot of conservatives on Twitter who were mocking them for taking their own life. And so I was talking about that on Twitter, and Gaming Otter responded to one of my tweets with this really out of place, like, Nintendo meme where they were dressed up as Luigi and they were like cooking food. And I try to explain to them how that was like really out of place and really inappropriate. You know, I'm talking about a very sensitive issue, and they're responding with like this cringy Nintendo video. And they really didn't seem to understand why that was a problem. And I got frustrated and I ended up blocking them. So fast forward to around VidCon time, and we find out that this guy is hanging out with Bo Blacks now at VidCon, and like it's a live stream where it's this really awkward social interaction between the two of them. But not only that, but they spend a decent portion of the stream basically bonding over their mutual hatred for me. So I thought it was kind of funny. And so I looked at the stream, decided it would be fun to react to on stream and, you know, maybe make some content out of it. And ever since then, this guy has been like even more obsessed with me than he has before. He's done multiple live streams where all he does is talk about me and complain about me in these streams. He full on crashed out in one of these streams in relation to me. He did a video where he tried to give me life advice on how to get W's, even though this guy clearly doesn't know anything about W's, but okay, if you say so. But all in all, that's just kind of like a brief summary of my interactions with them. I met them in 2018 covering Billy Mitchell. We had a pretty bad fallout in 2021 over some really messed up comments they made about my friend who had passed away. I told them I didn't want to interact with them anymore multiple times over the years ever since then, and they just won't respect my boundaries. No matter how many times I tell them that I want them to leave me alone, they just won't stop. And this whole ordeal is just, you know, the recent sort of example of that. Them just being told numerous times, just leave me alone, and they just won't do it. They're just a very clingy, parasocial individual who just doesn't understand what no means. And I got frustrated. So I had to say something at this point because they've made multiple comments about me that have made me uncomfortable at this point. They've basically made really sexual comments towards me that, you know, I get that I have like a sense of humor that, you know, engages in a lot of like sexual related jokes and stuff like that. But like the way they're saying it is making me genuinely uncomfortable. And I just want them to leave me alone. That's all I've been asking for this whole time is just leave me alone. And they just won't do it. So that's where we're at now. Hope that sums things up for you pretty good.
Even as I record this, Otter is talking crap about Tipster, calling him pathetic and a lolcow on his stream.
Still the lolcow. You're still the lolcow. That's what you've always been, Tippy. Lolcow.
Even after Tipster asked him not to be sexual with him, he's saying this kind of stuff on his stream, live in public.
Tipster seriously wanted my tip? Yeah, I don't want to give him any tip. He can take his own tip. Good luck to you, Tippy Tipster.
I'm not the joke police, but joking about the fact that Turkey Tom should shoot him is gross and disgusting. You should not wish death on anybody, dude. The last thing I want to touch on in this video is bringing Leafy into this. A homophobic, racist Nazi to back you up is horrible. You know, Leafy has said horrible shit about gay people, and you're gay. And now you want to be out here being like, oh, even Leafy's talking shit, ha ha ha. Leafy would talk shit about you in a gay fucking second, okay? So, don't bring him into this. Otter, I cut gameplay just so I can talk to you one-on-one right now. Listen, harassment isn't funny. This video is just proving that you're a piece of crap. And if you're offended about anything that I've said, instead of talking crap about me about like on a live stream, come talk to me. My Discord's linked to my YouTube channel. Come talk to me one-on-one, face-to-face, okay? Because at the end of the day, you're just a coward hiding at Disneyland, or in California, which you can't afford, going, hey, what's up, everybody? Tipster's a piece of crap. You're not funny. It's not cute. You're just jumping on the bandwagon for one of your friends. Okay? So please, get some help. Or, you know, be a man, Okay? Because, honestly, just, I'm at Disneyland. Tipster's a piece of crap. He's fat. Oh, yeah, you know he want my... No. It's not funny. It's not cute. Okay? Just grow the fuck up. And also, being friends with Bo Blacks, a fucking pothead idiot who will betray you, record you without your knowledge and calls and everything, and backstab you in the future, is not the best idea, man. Honestly, you should cut him off. And yeah, I didn't shave for you. I know how you like the neckbeard idiots. Okay? So please, get some help. And if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, it's free. Yeah, I'm self-promoting at the end. Fuck you, Otter. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah.